Hi, this is Jeff Lesher with a video companion to my blog about how bad leadership and bad decision making is so dramatically illustrated by the president's recent determination to, as he put it, cancel the Paris Climate Agreement. I could go on and on. I'm really going to try not to, but here are a few things that I wanted to be able to literally say and also allow you to read and reflect on and hopefully find some value in and do something with. So in the immediate case of this illustration, let's just be clear on a couple of things. Number one, the president is not canceling anything. He is withdrawing the U.S.'s voluntary participation in an agreement that all but two countries in the world have signed up for. Syria, which is dealing with much more immediate issues than the effects of climate change, and Nicaragua, which wanted the agreement to be more stringent, and that's the reason they chose not to participate. So in one way of looking at this, the U.S. now is the only country in the world not participating in trying to address and affect the outcome of having not only a better world, but a world to live in, not a world that's underwater or with air that's unbreathable or whatever else. And more fundamentally, if the president is to be taken at his word, that his objective is to do what's best for our country and to do what's best for our country by doing what is good for business, jobs, and the economy overall. Well, again, this makes very little sense because all of the innovation, all of the possibility, all of the real jobs and impact of those jobs, we know are with energy source production and distribution that is beyond fossil fuels in particular. So coal industry jobs, I mean, come on. This is a fantasy, and at least what's being done here is just a purely political exercise, and at worst, it is an act of ignorance that puts all of us in danger. So hopefully as leaders of business, our everyday decision making is far less impactful than that, and yet no less important to our business. So how is it that we can make better decisions? Well, here are a few points of guidance. Number one, focus in fact on the big picture. So the decision is not about, do I bring coal jobs back? It's about making America great again or making the world great again or greater. That's the big picture. How do I do that? Well, maybe it's that I bring coal jobs back, or as I examine the evidence, I double down on where the growth actually is, and also the ways in which I can maximize my leverage. So there's the big aspiration, if you think about this as an equation, what's on the right of the equal sign, and then the inputs that need to be in there. Not the inputs to prove that the answer that you've already written down is right, but to figure out how to get to that answer which you believe to be a possibility. Once you do that, then literally set up an experiment. As I often tell my colleagues and our clients, this is rocket science. It is rocket science. And that's the greatest thing, is what we get to do is test something that we believe to be possible, set up an environment in which it's safe to try it out, measure what happens, determine what worked and what would work better done differently, and then try it again. That's what we do. So here's one other way to consider this and to check yourself. So our CEO likes to ask us, likes to challenge us when it comes to investment or other sorts of adjustment. Is the lemon worth the squeeze? Interesting metaphor. Is the lemon worth the squeeze? Maybe. And a lot of times it's worth it to find out. So how could we test how much juice could be in the lemon in a way that doesn't require too much of an investment to do that? Here's the caution. If we predetermine that there's not enough juice, or maybe no juice at all in the lemon, and then anything that we look at, if we choose to look at any evidence at all, is only that which proves that we're right, we're going to make bad decisions, and we're going to be bad leaders. We have to be open to the possibility and find out and look at credible ways in which we can make that determination. And generally speaking, that's going to require that we actually move to some level of testing phase if the concept itself makes sense. So if we're really about having a better world, a better country, a better economy, then we need to test what's going to work and not go back to things that the evidence clearly suggests are either not available or not sustainable at the level at which we need them to be. So the president, whether you agree or disagree with his approach to things in general, there is no question that this is fundamentally a demonstration of very poor decision-making and leadership that comes along with it. And we should not follow this example, and I encourage you to be smarter, more thoughtful, and a better leader.